Hey guys, welcome back to CLOWNFISH TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And oh boy, fans are friends, not food.
Imagine that.
Fans are friends, not food. This is coming from J.J. Abrams and also Kathleen Kennedy, both coming to the defense of the Star Wars fans they have spent the last 2 years demonizing.
Right.
Using the media outlets to demonize. And you know why, right? They want your money.
Right, because now it's starting to come to their attention that, crap, the general public and most of the fans aren't just this vocal minority of far, extreme fans we thought they were. It's pretty much a large group. Crap. This movie's not going to do well.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a bomb. People keep saying the Rise of Skywalker is going to bomb.
Oh, it's not going to bomb.
It's not going to bomb, but it's not going to hit the 250 million or whatever The Force Awakens made opening weekend. Star Wars is declining in popularity, and a big part of it, beyond the fact that The Last Jedi was a shitty movie, a big part of it is that the interactions with Lucasfilm, with the people behind the scenes, have been, frankly, toxic.
They have been. Yeah, you want to throw that word toxic around, we'll just, volley it right back.
Yes, we're going to talk about that. Why the hell they wait until the week of the Rise of Skywalker to start extending an olive branch is beyond me. It should have happened a year ago, 2 years ago. But they thought they knew better. Mm-hmm. They thought they knew better. So we're going to talk about that. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already. We're at over 83,000, I think, subs. We're cruising to 100.
17,000 more. Let's go.
Yeah, well, if we can pick up 17,000 subs today.
yeah, that'd be a Christmas miracle.
That would be a Christmas miracle.
Yeah, but I want to hit the 100,000. But so please subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed because people keep getting unsubscribed. So there you go.
Yeah, YouTube. Okay, so this you sent me this morning. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker director J.J. Abrams says you can't look at fans as an adversary.
No kidding. How about the fact that everybody's been saying this for years? Well, at least last 2 or 3 years, people keep bringing this up. Even back to the Ghostbusters 2016 debacle, they brought this up.
Yep.
And that's one of the reasons that did it in was because of the way they treated the fans.
Yeah, people might be willing to give your product, and that's what it is at the end of the day, your product more of a chance if you're not calling them names.
Right.
I can't imagine anyone that wants to buy your stuff when you're calling them shitheads, trolls,
no, it's misogynist, man
Nazis,
babies, Yahtzees.
racism, misogyny, and death threats, how Star Wars fans turn to the dark side.
Are there people that behave badly? Yes. But is it the vast majority of the fandom? No. We have never, ever, ever sent death threats or threatened actors or any of that stuff. The only thing we ever call out is the toxicity and bullshit that the media keeps spinning and the fact that Disney allowed some of their people to go out there and troll the fans as well.
Yeah, so we want to back this up here a little bit because, we've had 2 plus years. Now, actually, The Force Awakens was kind of, I think it was fairly well received.
People accept, because a lot of people said they liked it because it felt familiar. And the ones who didn't like it, were kind of like, okay, I understand why. I'm really excited to see where you go now. And that's where a lot of people were. They were like, okay, cool. We get it. Let's move on. Even though we're still mad about Han. We're like, okay, cool. We still got Luke and Leia. Let's move on. And then they completely F that up too.
Yeah, but then it wasn't even effing it up. It wasn't even effing it up and not owning up to it. It was effing it up, not owning up to it, and then blaming the fans and weaponizing the media for 2 years. 2 years. There were constant hit pieces, and there was when you're taking a cue from Lucasfilm, Rian Johnson openly mocked YouTubers like Mike Zero, who's a very middle of the road guy. I don't think he's ever trash talked Lucasfilm in any of his videos, but they made him a meme at Lucasfilm and they laughed about it. Mm-hmm. When you do shit like this, and then the media's like, are you picking up on that?
Consider the source on that one. Yeah. Are you surprised that Rian Johnson behaved badly and acted like a troll? I sure as hell am not, because that's all this dude does.
That's all The Last Jedi was. It was a trolling of Star Wars fans.
He admits basically, a subversion. He openly went and subverted all the expectations, tried to make it feel like something completely different, because that's what he does. He is trolling the fans. And he might be okay in his own stuff, and that's fine. Knives Out might be good, he might be okay in his own stories. But you cannot put someone like him in charge, an indie director in charge of a movie like The Last Jedi. It's just not a smart choice.
No. And he did it basically to just shock people for shock effect. It was a troll. It was a troll job.
You know what I think is going on with Disney's, 180? One, the ticket sales aren't where they want it to be. And even if it does like, 300, 400 million opening weekend, what we have to remember is with this one, the budget's much higher because they had to do all those reshoots. They are advertising and tying in and synergizing the hell out of this, and that's costing them so much money. Because they cannot have a failure here. And so it's going to cost way more than the other Star Wars films cost.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that straight up. So even though it might on paper look like it's a fantastic success, it's going to have to do a lot of money to make it break even. But looking at this now, like, okay, no one's buying tickets. But beyond that, The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian's doing really well. You're getting a lot of the old fans coming back because they like The Mandalorian because it feels more like Star Wars than anything else we've seen from Disney. I mean, I think Rogue One did personally, but it feels like more Star Warsy than the other movies that Disney has put out. People like it. Old fans are coming back. And then they're losing all that money on the Baby Yoda stuff. They're going out, sending out copyright infringements, sending out lawyers after people for IP theft and all that over it. So they're like, oh my God, look at all the money we're losing we could have made, because the old fans, they'll spend money. They're not going to sit on the shelves like the new stuff is. So they're like, oh shit. And they're trying to claw back whatever they can get, because this movie's going to make or break. I think a lot of people's positions are going to be cemented, make or break by this film too.
Well, it comes right on the heels of Galaxy's Edge not performing the way they thought it was going to, and Hasbro complaining that they took a hit because they couldn't sell Star Wars toys.
So now Disney and having it tied to Star Wars is not a good thing for them.
So this is interesting though that they're all backpedaling. It's too late though, guys. You should have done this a year ago. Despite the divisive nature of The Last Jedi still stirring online discourse, that's what we're calling it 2 years after the release, including renewed debates over its stars, frank criticisms that came to light when promoting The Rise of Skywalker, they're throwing it under the fucking bus.
They are.
They're throwing The Last Jedi under the bus.
It should be thrown under the bus, and then it should be backed over again and run over again.
And then you get out, you pop a couple of caps in to make sure it's done.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Then you scrape it off the road and throw it to the side. Anyway, Abrams believes spirited debate is not a bad thing. And the filmmaker explains why he sympathizes with critics. Where were you?
Now
JJ,
he sympathizes
where were
with
you?
critics, yeah.
You can't look at fans of Star Wars as an adversary. Star Wars fans have turned to the dark side. Mike Zero's a troll.
Well, the media's taken whatever extremist, there's 10 people that are extremists. Let's hurry up and make sure that we label everybody that.
They're passionate, certainly can be contentious. But the fact that they care, I feel like I, as a Star Wars fan, understand that love.
I'm one of you! I'm one of you!
Hey, fellow kids. Hey there, fellow kids. So I feel blessed to be involved in something that matters so much to so many people. Asked if he stays away from online commentary, Abrams answered, here's how I feel. Every time I read something where someone is unsupportive, which is a kind way of saying brutal, I kind of go, well, they've got a point. And whenever I read someone saying, oh, he's the greatest, I'm like, well, they don't know what they're talking about. I always feel like I sympathize with people who have the sort of more negative things to say, he added, so it's not a pleasant thing to ever read something that's negative, but I also feel like spirited debate is not a bad thing, and certainly you can find some of that online.
You mean negativity and criticism are not always the same thing? You mean that?
That the fans have been saying for
I've been saying for years. I mean,
it's not just JJ. Now Kathleen Kennedy, this
of course
just came out because Clone Wars is coming back on Disney Plus, which I'm actually excited about because they ended Clone Wars rather quickly because they were trying to wrap it up to push out Rebels, which was okay. It was okay. I wasn't as big of a Rebels fan. It didn't really hold my interest like Clone Wars, but they clearly wrapped it up a little too quickly, so it's going to get another chance on Disney Plus. But Kathleen Kennedy is coming around. Kathleen Kennedy, who's been executive producer of all things Star Wars since 2012 and probably was behind them pulling the plug on Clone Wars to push out Rebels, said in a recent interview that the company does indeed heed to what fans want from the franchise. Hell no, they don't.
They're trying to say that now. That's a narrative trying to spin now.
Yep. The return of the animated series was the result of a prolonged campaign by viewers to revive the show.
No, it's because they needed content for Disney Plus. And they figured, because that's coming to Disney Plus, correct?
Yeah.
So they figured, okay, we'll just revive it. We'll put the old episodes on that to get people excited, and then put the new episodes on Disney Plus because we want more subscribers to Disney Plus. That's what this is about.
That's what this is about. It does matter what they say and what they care about, according to Kathleen Kennedy. All of those things play a role in our decision making. No, this is, look, don't be fooled. They know the sequel trilogy is a turd. It's been divisive. It's not selling merchandise. It's not getting people to the theme parks. It has been given the size of the franchise, the sequel trilogy has been a failure. So they're going back. That you can imagine them having a marketing meeting, sitting down.
Anything Disney does is done by committee.
It's done by committee. It's Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger, and they're all sitting around like, well, Star Wars isn't performing very well, Kathy. How do we fix it? Well, what do the fans like? Well, they like Boba Fett. Let's give them a Boba Fett show. We'll get them on the Disney Plus brand synergy. We'll get them on the Disney Plus and Clone Wars. They like Clone Wars the best. Let's bring Clone Wars back too.
Well, it's interesting you say that because now there's all these articles about J.J. Abrams saying that he's trying to get Disney to release the Star Wars cuts that weren't the special edition. Because people don't like the special edition as well as they like the originals. So there's all these articles about how Disney's saying no, but he's trying so hard because he's a fan himself.
I'm a fan
and
too.
He wants to get the originals out from Disney because people don't want they don't want the special editions. They want to see the originals. And what do fans like? They like the original Star Wars. Well, let's bank on that. Let's start using that as our talking points.
Yeah.
We literally have a list. What do people like? Clone Wars. Boom. What do people like? Old Star Wars. Boom. What they not like? Oh, they hate The Last Jedi. Okay, well, we'll leverage that. They hate The Last Jedi. We get it. We're one of you. We understand. This new movie is for you. We listen to you, so we took all that into consideration for this new movie. Come see the movie. But book your tickets today.
Yep.
But while you're at it, go buy a GE washing machine and make sure you fly United and go play Fortnite and go use, Facebook Messenger.
It's all centered. Yeah, you can see them scheming how to get the fandom back on a freaking whiteboard when it was so simple.
Yeah.
All they had to do was treat the fans with respect, not destroy freaking Luke Skywalker. And even if you did it, own up to it and not call fans misogynists, trolls, these hit pieces, which I do believe, knowing how the Disney marketing machine works. I think that Disney was totally fine with all of these media outlets. Some of these outlets are actually Disney owned or Disney owns a stake in, bad mouthing the fans because they thought, well, this is how
we'll try to bully them
we'll bully them into submission.
So, yeah.
And they thought arrogantly that if they got rid of all these old fans, that all these new fans, the Karens and the Tumblrites and all the shippers and all that, they would come in and replace them. They might have, but not financially.
Well, now no one's going to be happy with this new movie because now they ticked off all of those fans that they said they wanted.
Yeah.
Because they aren't as many in number as the old fans. And then I think, like I said, we've said a million times before, middle America and middle of whatever in the world, the general audience around the world, aren't really super invested either way, but they just don't want this. They didn't like the last movie because it was dumb. So they don't have those people coming either. They're not coming to the theme parks, not coming to whatever. And they're like, oh my God, why is this happening? It's like, because you fundamentally don't understand Star Wars. And you're starting to make a change now, I think. I think Rise of Resistance is a good move, even though I'm not too keen on Disney trilogy. I think it's a good move. I think what you're to get money, because at the end of the day, it's all money. Opening the parks without both rides was phenomenally stupid. That was just dumb because you're interested in money. That's all your problem is. You're all money hungry. And anymore, what I feel bad about Disney is because when I think of Disney, I used to think of, happy, fuzzy family, Disney's family, and I love it. And now I feel like Disney is arrogance. And I think that's how I feel now. And it makes me sad, but I'm mad. I'm angry.
Disney has changed in the last couple of years. I know people were like, you're Disney haters. Like, no, you have no idea. We're not. Disney has been a huge part of our lives. We have entire studio space filled with Disney stuff. I've worked on Disney comics for years. We go to theme parks all the time, spend a lot of money with Disney. And I feel Star Wars has been Disney-fied by current day Disney, which is Bob Iger.
And frankly, this last year or two, especially, it just feels like arrogance. And I just think it's Iger.
Yeah.
But Disney and I think Chapek too. I think Disney has been defined by arrogance now. And almost like cheap. Like they cheapen everything. Like they're trying to take a cheap way out to make a quick buck. And I feel like that. Like all these live action remakes. Now they're doing a live action remake of the live action Cinderella. It's like it all just feels like
cash grab.
It's just they just want your money. Like they don't care about making new things and it's just about. No, I'm not gonna say this to the cast members because I think the cast members really truly care about their job and they're the ones who make the park special. And I am not including them in this. I'm talking about corporate high ups at Disney. The ones who are keeping the Disney magic alive, I think, at the parks are the cast members who are not paid enough.
No.
They're the ones who make it special, magical, and they're the ones who walk away with a happy feeling for Disney. And when I think about why I like the park so much and why we go back, it's because of the cast members and the things that happen with the cast members, and that is not corporate Disney.
No, Disney, if they could, literally, Disney at this point, the way they are now, if they could just vacuum the money out of your pockets and not give you anything in return, they would do it.
Yeah, and people know this. They sense this. People know when you're shitting them.
It's a trap.
Yeah, people aren't stupid. These companies keep acting like people are dumb.
Yeah.
People are not stupid. And I'm not talking about the extreme fans you don't like, that you're their man-baby misogynistic trolls. I'm talking about that 90% of the audiences that would come to your parks and stuff, 90% of people, they're not liking this. You know, the Star Wars, they don't care anymore. They're not buying the toys. They're not coming because they don't care.
And this whole thing, this backpedaling right now, you know, the cynic in me says this is purely about the financials.
It is. We know this.
Yeah, this is not genuine. This is not
because
genuine.
Bob Iger already said after this film, after the Skywalker series ends, he doesn't give a rat's butt about I didn't mean that purpose, but it worked out well. About Star Wars. That going forward, they want to be unburdened by the fans and make things that aren't, you know, weighed down by the baggage of the fandom and stuff like that. For exact wording, but basically what he's saying is, after this, they're going to go make new Star Wars. That's the new Star Wars for a new audience. That we don't want the old audience. We want a new audience.
Right.
So they already say that. They're just trying to make money on this film.
Yeah, after this film is over, they're going to go right back to where they were before, I think. I think it's going to be, like, they're going to have to show some long-term commitment, I think, to trying very hard not to piss on the fandom.
I think they're going to try really hard with Disney Plus because they want Disney Plus to succeed. So I think they'll do those shows and try to make it more for the fans, like Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And I think they will. But I think moving forward for the films, they're going to be like, kick the shit off their shoes and go try, being the fandom, and then go trying to make something new and glorious and inspired.
Yeah, so the next Star Wars trilogy will be like about, you know, 6 teenage girls with Jedi powers, you know, you know, just every freaking trope. It's not going to age well, but this is, you know, I said this in another video. I said this does remind me of the Separatists, where they thought they were the good guys. They thought they were like fighting some holy crusade. They're like, oh, we're going to pull away from the corrupt republic, and that would be the journalists. That would be all these people who were supporting Disney's crusade to smite the toxic fans.
That we're out there, you know, advancing the crusade.
Advancing the crusade, only to turn around, open the door, and there's Darth Vader, and he's going to kill them all. Because Disney, at this point, they're throwing the Last Jedi under the bus. They're coming back now and saying, you know, the fans aren't so bad after all. After people already put their necks out and wrote articles like this and got backlash for this because they thought they were on the right side of it. Disney doesn't care.
Yeah, and
they don't care.
This isn't saying that anybody who likes Last Jedi, you can't like Last Jedi.
No,
That's not true. We never say that. If you listen to our videos, which a lot of you come in here and complain, don't. We say often, you are allowed to like whatever, you're allowed to not like whatever. And if you like The Last Jedi, that is completely fine. The problem becomes when it becomes, it's a point of contention where I'm better than you because I like Last Jedi. I am somehow higher than you intellectually. I'm higher than you morally. I'm higher than you all these things because I like The Last Jedi and you just like the lowbrow other movies. And this comes from the media. And people, you know, back in the day, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, people were allowed to not like things, and they still got along, and you're allowed to say, I don't like this because, and it didn't automatically make you a bad person. And you were allowed to say, I like this because, and it didn't automatically make you a bad person. And that was how it was, because no one actually called people names. You know, they weren't like, you're a misogynist, bleepity blank blank, it's because you didn't like it. And no one was like, well, you're an SJW, blah, 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 because you did. People disagreed, and it was okay. You were allowed to disagree, because then you're like, oh, but I like this. Oh, I like that too. Okay, let's talk about that instead. Back in 5 years ago, back when being rational existed, this was the way it was. It's only been the last couple of years, I would honestly say since Ghostbusters 2016, that we saw this huge...
Yeah, I think Ghostbusters 2016 was a catalyst. I think it started, I mean, honestly, from where I'm sitting, it seemed like a lot of it started around 2014, 2015.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, well, that's when they were talking about coming out.
Tumblr, yeah. And then
5 years ago, like I said.
Yeah, and it's been going on for about 5 years. Now we're seeing the studios, you know, swing, the pendulum swinging back. We saw what happened with Joker, where the media deliberately tried to tank it, and then Warner Brothers shot the media down. Mm-hmm. These studios are starting to realize that a lot of these websites, these journalists with their hot takes and their political activism are not financially good for them.
No, because I mean, you're letting, and this is what gets me too, and I did a Twitter post about this. I tweeted, these sites, basically they're glorified op-ed pieces post it on a bigger site, and then somehow I think that makes them a quote-unquote journalist. And then because we cover their bullshit stories and correct them, or we just, take some different news sources and make our own story, that we're not journalists because we're just copying everybody else. No, we're not. And these are the same people who also, like Convo.com or CBR, who take one interview from somebody and make 6 articles based on it, and they're allowed. That's okay. That's journalism. But us commenting on their comments is not journalism.
Yeah, this is comicbook.com, and I'm not singling this off.
No, we're just saying the site in general, not this person.
This came from Peter Travers. You personally did not interview J.J. Abrams,
right?
But you're going to write these people again, not this journalist in particular, but people on comic book resources and people in comic book. You're going to take the interview that somebody else did and make 6 or 8 articles out of it.
Right.
And then complain when YouTubers have their opinions on the same article.
Right.
On the same interview. It's weird.
It doesn't work that way. So anyway,
I think we're going to wrap this up. We're going to see some really interesting, we're going to be doing a lot of Star Wars videos this week, obviously, because they are releasing the Rise of Skywalker this week. But to see them backpedal now, just days before the premiere.
They should have. They were truly apologetic. It should have been done a year ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah, bridges needed to be mended, and they've known this, and all they did was double down.
Well, they had it in their head that it was a vocal minority, and they could put whatever they wanted out, and it was going to be fine.
Yeah, and it didn't work out very well for you, did it?
And now they're learning that, they learned with the Rise, or with Solo and stuff, that's not the case. And it's coming closer and closer to Rise of Skywalker, and the money isn't just coming magically like they thought it was going to be. It's not hitting the numbers they think, that they keep dropping the box office when you can find them. Because a lot of times they're hiding that. That maybe, oh my God, maybe there's a problem. And then people like The Mandalorian, and they're clamoring. They lost millions without having Baby Yoda merchandise. And they're making millions on pre-orders for Baby Yoda merchandise. And oh my God, if we do something that feels like Star Wars, the fans come back. Oh my God, who would have thunk it? And that's what's going on. Now they're having an about face.
How did it take you this long to figure this out? I mean, it really
Everybody kept telling you.
Well, this is Disney. Disney doesn't do anything unless it hurts their bottom line.
We've been telling you.
Yeah.
We have been telling you for years, Disney, and we know you listen to the videos.
Yeah, we know. But yeah, so now you're going to learn too late. And at this point, I think there has been permanent damage to the Star Wars brand. Mm-hmm. Permanently damaged, and it's we'll see. We'll see what happens this weekend. I'm sure it'll make money, but it's not going to make as much as it could have.
Right.
Maybe Cats will beat it. No, I don't think Cats.
No, Cats isn't going to beat it. Cats is not going to beat it.
All right, so we're going to wrap this one up.
All right.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.